Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a piece from Daily Hodl. It's titled Ripple CEO. Bitcoin, XRP, and crypto won't hit mass adoption as currencies anytime soon. Because it's kind of lucky that XRP, by and large, is not being positioned in place of fiat currency, isn't it? So I'm going to be running through that. I've also got a couple tweets from the XRP community, and then I'm going to wrap up the video with this piece, which I found quite fascinating. It's from Cointelegraph, titled, Bitcoin has already reached 40% average fiat currency lifespan. And it's a fun comparison, and okay, so Bitcoin originally intended to be utilized in place of fiat, but it's clearly not so. At this point, I'm kind of wondering, are we comparing apples to oranges anyway? Perhaps. Before we get going here, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, you done came to the right place, son. Go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, unless you hate yourself. Let's go ahead and jump into this piece here. Scroll down, damn it. Stupid computer. Alright, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says he doesn't think cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and XRP will be used by the average consumer anytime soon. In a new interview at the Economic Club of New York, Garlinghouse says he thinks the primary initial use case for crypto assets will be in the world of enterprise cross-border payments. Now, to me, I gotta tell you, that's not surprising at all. When I jumped into the world of crypto a couple of years ago, I started I just reviewed coins in rank of market cap. At that time, starting with Bitcoin and worked my way down, and I've gotten to dozens and dozens of them. And after a few dozen, I kind of got tired of it. And I found one out of all the coins that I researched that actually made sense because it could actually be adopted today, and there was a real need for this, and it was XRP. It's the only one, period. And then of all the thousands of coins, fine, I haven't literally researched all of them, but my gosh, if there were some other use case, something at the bottom, and mind you, they've all been around for at least a year or two or three at this point, even the newer ones, right? Pretty much all of them. Something would have floated to the top if there were real partnerships, real utility, and it hasn't. There's a reason that XRP is perpetually towards the top of whether you look at CoinMarketCap or Livecoin, watch whatever it is. In terms of market cap, XRP is always at the top, and I know it's kind of waffled back and forth between the number 2 and 3 slot, against Ethereum. But just wait. I still think that eventually one day XRP will supplant Bitcoin in terms of market cap. Then the piece continues. But he doesn't think people will be paying for goods and services with crypto on a large scale in the near term. So here's a quote from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. XRP, in my judgment, and really any crypto, I don't think the use case is a consumer use case today. I imagine some percentage of the people in this room before coming this morning stopped at Starbucks, and you had no trouble paying. You used a Visa. Maybe you had dollars in your pocket. I don't know. But it worked. And so when people talk about using crypto for a consumer use case, I go to what problem are we trying to solve? If there's not a problem, then let's not force change into it. People aren't going to adopt a new thing unless it's helping you in some way. Thank you very much, Brad Garlinghouse. And I've been making that point ad nauseum for 10 months on the Moon Lambo channel here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, I'm not saying that cryptocurrencies can't or won't ever be adopted and used in place of some fiat currencies. I don't know that there will be a complete takeover, especially not of one cryptocurrency. But I think it would be kind of foolish to rule out that outcome having adoption to some level, even if it takes decades to get there. But I can see as traditional fiat currencies fail, especially in third world countries, there could be a real utility there, especially as, look, I think the frenzy around crypto is going to dissipate at some point. And you're not going to see this volatility when that happens. It'll be at a stage when people have more so figured out what's going on with crypto, the cryptocurrency asset class. And when that happens, there will be a tremendous opportunity for at least one, maybe multiple cryptocurrencies to be used in some areas of the world, at a minimum, in place of fiat currency. It's a reasonable thing to assume might happen. Doesn't mean it will, but I don't see a reason that it could not happen. But just you're not solving a major problem today, and so you'd have to really ease into it over a long period of time. And so it's not that if all the Bitcoin maxes out there think that cryptocurrency should be used in place of fiat. Well, if your stance is that it should be exclusively Bitcoin and it should be tomorrow or is going to be very soon, Well, that's where we differ. I think it can happen. Probably won't be Bitcoin because the technology is too slow and you can't fix that layer 1 technology, as far as I can tell. If that ever changes, happy to admit it, but Lightning Network is not going to fix it. It's a centralized solution, required pre-funding of accounts. I just don't see that happening. Anyway, Garlinghouse says there may be an exception in third world countries where access to capital is often more difficult, which is the point that I was getting to. So take a look at this. Another quote from Garlinghouse here. There are markets that have already lost control of their currency, where the transaction cost for a Visa transaction isn't 150 basis points or 200 basis points, it's 800 basis points. And you go to Argentina, and you get a menu, and it has 3 prices on it. One is to pay in dollars, one is to pay in Argentinian pesos and currency, and another is to pay with a credit card. Is there a risk for Argentina that cryptocurrencies are solving a problem? Yeah, exactly. And this is a more recent interview, and I've been saying exactly this for the entirety of the lifespan of this channel. Anyway, and then Garlinghouse went on to say, I just don't think that's, with 95% of global GDP, I don't think you need to use a cryptocurrency to solve a fiat problem. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes Libra, Facebook's white paper, is making. They kind of positioned it as a new fiat currency, and that, of course, raises the ire of lots of governments. Excuse me. And then the piece continues, rising levels of Bitcoin volume on the peer-to-peer platform Local Bitcoins has indicated some people in Venezuela, which continues to suffer from crippling inflation, may be purchasing Bitcoin to try to keep the value of their capital from plummeting. Meanwhile, a growing number of crypto payment platforms are emerging in the United States and around the world in a push to give people the option to spend their crypto. The payments company Flexa recently added support for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ether, and Gemini Dollars to its payments app called Spedden. I don't know if I'm saying this. SPEDN in all caps. The app reportedly allows people to pay with crypto in mainstream retail outlets in the United States, including Baskin-Robbins, Bed Bath & Beyond, Crate & Barrel, GameStop, Nordstrom, and Whole Foods. So it's fascinating. It's a fun thought exercise. Where is this all going? And okay, so what direction and what's the timeline going to look like? And I don't know what the timeline's going to look like. I'm just telling you though, if you want XRP to be spent in place of fiat currency, I mean you can do it right now, but it's more of a novelty. I think I'm not saying it won't happen. It's going to be, I suspect, especially if it's XRP. I mean, well, really any cryptocurrency, it's going to be a long time from now. All right, check out this next tweet. This is from QSR on Twitter, who tweets, if you invest $6,000 in Bitcoin to 8K, you get 0.75 BTC. If you invest $6,000 in XRP at 28 cents, you get 21.428 XRP. If XRP reaches $10, you would have $214,280. To have this amount, BTC has to go up to $285,904. What do you think will happen before XRP rises to $10 or Bitcoin to $285,000? And this is a point, and so conceptually, this will help you to understand if you're not quite sure. Because sometimes people made the point, I made the point, that small cap coins, if there's anything to them and they start increasing in value, the multiplier effect will be much more substantial than a large cap coin like XRP. Now, for me, though, it doesn't matter because I'm all about fundamentals. I'm not just going to go gambling money and waste it and hope that I just get lucky and hit something. No. To me, fundamentals are absolutely crucial. That's why I'm continuing to put my money into XRP. That's the only cryptocurrency that I'm still buying. None of this is financial advice, of course, but that's what I personally am doing, and I'm happy to share that with you. But if you're trying to figure out conceptually why is that the case, the less money there is in something, the greater the multiplier effect. And this is just a good illustration of it, and that's why I thought I'd bring this up now. All right, next tweet here. I like this. Is from XRP Twin on Twitter. Tagged me and some other XRP community members here and wrote, Swell 2020 participants, with that being Ripple's Swell, which is coming up November 7th and 8th. And here we go. We got Alex Cobb here, and what appears to be I think are these all Ferraris? I think they look like all Ferraris to me. I could be wrong. So here's Moon Lambo here. I appreciate being included, so thank you very much, XRP Twin. But That's a Ferrari, not a Lambo. I am Moon Lambo, not Moon Ferrari. That's okay. No, I appreciate you including it. So, so you can see right now. So it looks like they're all. It's not a race, but if it were, it looks like Cobb would be in the lead, and then you got XRP Crypto Wolf there. You got Tiffany Hayden and Bank XRP, but Moon Lambo's coming up on them. But right now, looks like I am completely breezing past like Crypto Eddie. Who else? We got your Brad Kimes. You got Digital Asset Investors, so I'm ahead of all of them. We got CKJ. Moon Lambo's doing pretty well here. And I found this funny, too. Check this out. So here's somebody that wasn't included in the pick. I just got to scroll down a little bit. It just kind of made me chuckle. XRP, who on Twitter is, it's EXARPIE. He tweeted this, "Wait for me," and there's a picture of a tuk-tuk. And I had to make sure that it was called a tuk-tuk, so I Googled it. And yes, these things are called tuk-tuks. Now, this guy's wearing a helmet, so I don't know if it's some sort of like souped-up one or he's just not confident in his driving abilities. But nonetheless, we got a tuk-tuk coming up on all the Ferraris. There you go. All right, last piece for this video. Bitcoin has already reached 40% of average fiat currency lifespan. Bitcoin may only be 10 years old, but it is about to match half the lifespan of the average fiat currency while actually increasing in value. Average fiat dies in 27 years. And I mentioned that on the channel. I don't know how many of you realize that. I haven't talked about it too much, but the average fiat currency has a 27-year lifespan. As Bitcoin statistician and commentator Willy Woo noted on October 18th, the largest cryptocurrency has been around 40% as long as the average government-issued currency. Wu was referencing a 2018 study by Dollar Days. Out of 775 fiat currencies, past and present, researchers concluded the average lifespan is just 27 years. The longest living fiat currency, the British pound sterling, has lost practically all its value since its inception, not helped by leaving the gold standard in 1931. Bitcoin has already reached 40% of the life expectancy of the average fiat currency, 27 years. The most successful fiat currency has lost 99.5% of its value, Wu summarized. The figures contrast with the ongoing declarations from critics that Bitcoin is weakening or will collapse altogether. According to monitoring resource 99 Bitcoins, a total of 377 Bitcoin obituaries have surfaced since records began. Since launching, however, it has only gained value with its publicly verifiable scarcity ensuring demand. As Cointelegraph often reports, Bitcoin's uniquely high stock-to-flow ratio puts its appeal in line with gold. It does not suffer from the pitfalls of fiat, the supply of which is manipulated by centralized entities such as central banks. Meanwhile, the network will set a new milestone this week, mining its 18 millionth Bitcoin out of a total potential supply of 21 million. Okay, super duper, and factual stuff stated throughout, no qualms with that. The only beef that I really have with it's kind of what I cited at the beginning of the video is Bitcoin's not money. It's not used as money. It's being used as the Ponzi version of a store of value. That's basically it. Because there is currently, today, there is no utility there, and I just don't see, unless there's some real world adoption. If that happens, then okay, store of value makes sense to me. But without some sort of actual use case, makes no sense. But it's not being used as money. If it were actually being used as money, that would be a use case. That would be fine. And there's some people want to store their Bitcoin, store value. Okay, super duper. But to me, okay, fine, it's being positioned, but to be used as a currency, but it's not functionally being used as a currency, and probably never will be. Probably not, unless it's actually works. But I am skeptical of that, and still, again, it's a centralized solution. So, to me, it's kind of silly to compare Bitcoin to a currency of any kind, but I don't know, just one man's opinion. You can tell me what you think below. That's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!